Losers bracket final. We are in Group B, the final match of Group B as the teams are trying to advance to the playoffs. We have Club R going up against Fields Abzirman. And, well, we start things off with a Sylvanas ban here. Again, we're in the Underdog Cup. We're in Group B. We had 16 teams in total that signed up, all ranging from Division 2 to Division 5 in Heroes Lounge. Lots of good fun here. Absolutely awesome stuff that we saw. Great comebacks. Some great team compositions as well, as we're now trying to shine a light on the amateur scene. Again, all of the teams are playing in Heroes Lounge, and we exclude Division 1 of the league simply because we want to give the rest of the league a bit of a chance to play for prize money, play in a competitive environment here, just enjoying the tournament experience a little bit, and maybe also get the experience and the confidence to sign up for one of the bigger events here. We have some prize money on the line. The prize money has been put up by me, and we are just hoping to see some great games here. The last Underdog Cup was already a blast. This one has been a lot of fun too. And one of the best things for me is just to see how excited the teams are to play here. We had 16 teams sign up just like this. And this is something that even in the top level tournaments, when we're putting a lot of prize money on the line, you don't see all that much. And teams have been crazy fast. I mean, honestly, just every time that we were ready with one game, the next match would be ready. Teams go for the map super quickly, jump into the lobby, so it's been a blast. If you want to support tournaments like this, keep in mind that you can support the channel and the stream on patreon.com. Big shout out to all of the supporters there already. Oftentimes get asked what the best way is to support. This is actually it. So if you have considered it in the past, again, check it out. And it would be very much appreciated, and therefore also a big shout out at all of the supporters on Patreon already. Thanks, guys. It really helps a lot and makes events like this one possible that we can throw together. Now in Cursed Hollow, our first map, we get Chromie as a quick pick. Cho'Gall has been banned out because Club R actually played Cho'Gall in one of the previous games. They played him on Tomb of Spider Queen and were able to win with him. So now teams are weary of that and like, yeah, how about we're not going to let that happen. And we get Anduin and Blaze on the side of Fields Abzirman. As I keep saying in previous games, the hero pools here are a little bit smaller, so that really makes a difference, where you can analyze an opponent and then target certain players, certain heroes, and try and take them away from them. Obviously, when you're looking at the blue team, we have them as a Division 2 team now, with Machko also on the team, somebody that plays usually for the Enjoyers. That name should be familiar to you, but one of the reasons why we have different lineups here and different teams is that a lot of the top players are actually playing in different team compositions with different players and friends also in the amateur games, and yeah, that is kind of fun. Just shakes things up a little bit too, but therefore I would assume that he's the shot caller for the blue team. And they had a lot of success, but they haven't made it into the next round yet, so they could lose it all right here. Hogger gets banned, and we get the ban on Maiev. We have the blue team starting things off with Brightwing, Murden, and Chromie. We have a bit of a global factor here, with the Haka being banned, so Brightwing can definitely help out. And Murden is going to attempt to tee things up for Chromie and her damage. But then we get Jojo, Blaze on the side of Fields Abzirman. Definitely a strong front line for them, with Junkrat and Anduin to round out the draft. Only need one more. But what is the side laner going to be for Club R? And what are we getting as the additional damage? Because, well, Chromie alone is not going to cut it. Doesn't matter if you go melee or 2 range, but you need a bit more of a damage source. And they go for Falstad, which also gives them, of course, a global. So we have Murden, Urel at the front, and then we're getting Falstad for the team for the global action together with Brightwing. Last but not least, on the side of Fields Abzirman, the red team, they still need more damage as well. We have them with Junkrat right now. Given that they have Blaze and Johanna here, I would expect another range damage dealer for them. Falstad, by the way, also quite useful when you're fighting for a boss battle and you're trying to gust the opponent away from the point. Here comes Hanzo, and that sets us up for game number 1. Cursed Hollow, ladies and gentlemen. The first map between Club R and Fields Abzirman. Game on! The blue team with Whitey on Urel. We got Machko on Murden, Endless on Chromie, Balor with Falstad for the blue team, and Cassia with Brightwing Over on the right side of the map, we got Yamar on Hanzo. Team Fields Abzirman rocking it with Sjosten on Junkrat. We got Casado on Blaze, Elixir on Johanna, and Sasori channeling his inner Naruto fanboy with the power word Shield here and Anduin. So, let's go! I honestly, I would still say that the blue team is probably the favorite coming into this right now. But we have seen some really nice plays from Fields of Zeaman, and they kind of breezed through the last match. I think the Sloths were a little bit outmatched in that series, so the red team had an easy speed run, and now we're heading, of course, into the final match of Group B. But, yeah, a little bit of damage being done. Oh, actually, they might even get a kill. Muradin is able to jump out, but that got a bit close there for just a second. So, this could have been first blood. But top side is where we now have Blaze going up against the Space Goat. Rel in position here, and down at the bottom of the map. It's all about a grab of vision. Starting to go for your mercenary camps too. Muradin trying to connect the Stormbolt here, but we have, for example, Falsa down at the bottom of the map attempting to pressure Junkrat. And Muradin is stealing the vision away. Comes in, takes it, thank you very much. And then in the middle of the map, Endless, Cassia, they're still doing their thing here too. And yeah, it's a very tame early game, I gotta say. With Muradin, he's probably the most aggressive here, trying to go for vision. But they're really starting to gank up on him, and that's a dead dwarf, if you ask me. Right wing tries, and comes in time. Damn. Okay. I would not have been surprised for Muradin to fall here. I really thought that the overstage is welcome a bit when essentially everybody, with the exception of Blaze on the red team, started to come in for him and try and take him down. So he must have struck a little bit of a nerve. They were not too happy that he was stealing the vision away time and time again. Still no kill though. 2 minutes in. First tribute is going to be announced for the bot lane, which should actually spark a timing for the Siege Giants at the top left to be taken by the blue team. Yeah, Muradin jumps in again. In comes Jojo. He's still on cooldown. Can't jump, but can Stormbolt. And is able to get away. But Falstad gets murdered. They couldn't get Muradin, so they went for the dwarf on the bird. And that is kill number 1. Fields of Zeaman with the lead into the game. So they're getting their first kill. With level 4, we now also get the time troubles. So far, Chromie didn't really have a whole lot of troubles, but we'll see. If you have time troubles, I would suggest a watch. Time troubles is a little bit of a weird talent for me, honestly. When I hear time troubles, and I think immediately about Spain. In Spain, time is a flexible concept. As I already discovered at some point in the past, when you are working for any kind of French organization and they're telling you, oh, it's going to take 5 minutes. A French minute ranges from 1 to 8 minutes. That's a French minute. You have a very predefined time frame of what a French minute is. In Spain, yeah, mañana. Time is like, if you're not coming here today, you're coming tomorrow. 20 minutes late is basically too early. So, yeah, time troubles, I can absolutely understand, depending on where you are. In Germany, for example, everybody is always trying to be 5 minutes early. If you have an appointment, you're trying to be at a minimum 5 minutes early. And that's just what it is. But so there are certain stereotypes around countries and the perception of time and how they are thinking about punctuality that I can absolutely confirm. At least when it comes to France, Spain, and Germany, 100%, and there's obviously a lot more ranging there. Muradin. I was always waiting for that Stormbolt, but the Iron Skin was already out. First tribute has been easily locked in, and seems like the red team is going to get the next one here. So far, it's been a pretty chill game, especially for the red team. That changes now, I think. Oh, yes, it changes indeed. Johanna gets killed and taken out. Whitey at this point is still hitting a couple of shots there. I want to go in for with Urel. Isolate maybe Sjosten, but he's able to jump out. Urel gets away and the tribute is channeled by Endless. Nice. Now they just have to get out, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem. Top side Blaze. Does he get that jet propulsion? Stormbolt hits. Mirrodin jumps out and not able to get anything done here. Yeah, so far so good. So they were able to get the tribute. And that was actually an important one to grab because it was essentially on the opponent's side of the map, and that's usually something that is very difficult to grab for yourself. But they pulled it off. So yeah, well done. They have false stat with 9,000 damage as the top damage deal on the blue team. Can't really hold a candle to what we're seeing from Hanzo here with the 12,000. But there's obviously a lot of poke damage as well. And now the position here is a bit better for Club R. They should be able to walk away with this one. Both teams on level 9. Not as much aggression as I thought, but we're getting a little bit more in the last few minutes. I got also the Sticky Wicket over here, and we got the Suppressive Fire. Tribute is up, and that's a freebie channel for... Well, it might not be. Chromie gets actually interrupted in the last second, so I think they are gonna fight for this after all. Right Wing is now coming in to try and help out. Chromie taking advantage of the choke point. Big damage as Falstad finishes the channel. Yeah, Machko is moving out with Mirrodin, but they're starting to go in for Blaze, and he gets saved by Anduin. Chromie controlling that space was huge. But it's Falstad that dies, and the red team walks out with everybody still alive. Falstad got way too aggressive with his positioning here and now got punished for it. It's wild to me that the red team was able to get out of the fight without losing anybody. There's so many heroes that were massively low in HP and could have died at any moment. Now the boss gets taken, and this is really nice timing for Fields of Zearman. Brightwing has... Okay, we're going for the blink heal. Has teased this a little bit. If they ignore the boss for now and then just go for the tribute, they might get a curse against the opponent. But Fields of Zearman is of course also trying to move in here. Yeah, nice position here. Chromie is definitely keeping them at bay with that slowing sands. They're starting with the channel, but they are a little bit too late. That's a curse! That's a curse right there! The red team is cursed, boss is at the top lane and is doing damage for them. But now it's a question of whether or not they can also pick up a kill. If Hanzo, for example, dies or Blaze here, that would be huge. And it's again Anduin that ruins the fun for them. The biggest kill joy in the game. That trade is so insane. Boss is taking the top fort out. And Urel picks up all of the XP. Hanzo is down at the bottom of the map. Finally, they got a kill. They were working on this for so long, and now finally they were able to take down another hero. That's the second kill for the blue team. And they will destroy this bot lane fort. But honestly, they should try and get a bit more than that, and I'm not even sure they can. Maybe in the mid lane, but one fort with the curse, is that really going to be enough? That's the big question here. By now, we have... Yeah, the curse slowly evaporating. There's another 13 seconds. That's not really a whole lot of time. Urel is escorting this through at the top and trying to get some damage in here. They're also moving in for Johanna at the bottom of the map. Stormbolt connects. Yep, they slow this down. Do they have the damage? Light Bomb gets used. Chromie dodged out on it, but Chromie might still be in trouble. Jojo's running out of mana too, by the way, and out of hit points. That's a kill. Urel is still at the top, by the way. Nobody has dealt with her. Junkrat made it somehow, and Falstad dies to towers. Like, what the hell? How does that happen? He didn't even try to escape. He was just sitting there, was taking it. So, yeah, that's Falstad gone. Urel also rotating towards the middle to pick up more experience, but she has done some damage at the top. Not only did the wall get destroyed, but she also started to damage the fort. So 3 kills to 4 with an early level 13 talent for Club R. They are also trying to go for the boss, which is a bit of a slower approach than what you see with Hanzo. So, yeah, there we go. Falstad apparently got rooted, that's why he didn't move. That makes a little bit more sense, because I was just like, why is he not even trying to get away? But talking about trying to get away, this is a problem here. Mirrodin pops Avatar, still alive. Falstad has Gust and needs to use it now. Well, actually, he doesn't have to use it because nobody moved in for the point. So he still has it available. They still lose Mirrodin, though. But, yep. That's the bunker gone. Can we somehow get a kill here? Balor is still fine. But the arrow, a little bit too short distance to really make a problem for them. but off we go. So, down at the bottom of the map, boss is starting to move towards the keep. Blue team is just trying to hold the lanes now. They have, of course, globals. I mean, this is the one advantage that they're really running over the red team, that they still have some globals that they can use to control the side lanes, to control the map a little bit better. But it's not an easy game for them by any means. Boss has done some damage down at the bottom of the map. It's nothing too crazy. All in all, we have now 30,000 damage for Hanzo, 26,000 for Falstad. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of a weird map. It's a bit scrappy, is probably describes it best. Brightwing is about to help out Murden again. Nice damage from Chromie. That one was solid. Good combo there against Junkrat. And that's forcing them back quickly. There's a camp in the middle, so as long as they're pinning down the red team in the mid lane, this is going to do extra damage and it's going to destroy large parts of the wall. So we have more poke from Chromie against the backline. They got the slowing sands in position for this. And Chromie is really a massive asset in that situation now. Mirren is jumping in again. They're trying to get the channel. The blue team is controlling that space. Chromie could reposition also her ult. Yeah. They're trying to get the channel. One interrupt, two. Stormbolt, double connect. Chromie again trying to control this. And now they're going for Jojo, who gets murdered after getting poleed by Brightwing. Fantastic for Club R. So they are able to get the tribute. They want more kills though. They force the bunker at least. Urel might have to use her own ult. Nah, she's still fine. She's still fine. And of course they can now easily rotate towards the middle where the wall has been taken out. The camp is active and can take that fort out. That would be the second fort that they eliminate here. Urel gets the heals, doesn't even have to go for the ult. Now it's probably time to press the R button, and there we have it. So big cooldown burn, but they have more than a level lead. They are looking at level 16 talents in just a second. And with 2 forts destroyed, they have now officially taken the lead on structures. With Falstad taking the side walls out as well. But it feels like the blue team is stabilizing more and more and really establishing an advantage over Fields of Zearman, who, by the way, have a boss at the top lane. Muradin is also checking up on this. There's a tribute spawning too. Yeah, they get the vision here. Muradin, he doesn't have Avatar. Brightwing has to help out. Blessed Shield is there. And Muradin, oh, there's the arrow from Hanzo. There's the light bomb, and Muradin is gone. This is exactly what we were talking about the entire time. It just feels like there's too many deaths that are happening in mostly random situations that put a team then back on defensive position. So this is an easy free tribute now, and this is the second one actually for Fields of Zearman. Falstad is down at the bottom of the map and tries to steal the siege giants away from them. Which is going to work out because now we're having a few more heroes move in to try and help out with this. But obviously the boss is now getting attacked, and this is a free one. With Murden dying, they got a tribute and they got a boss. So, yeah. Can still do a little bit more damage here, I suppose. Also tries to burn the wave down, and does. And Junkrat is now slowly starting to move down. But even the keep is taking some damage. So keep is taking a little bit of damage as Junkrat and the rest of the team is now moving in. Not a lot, but you open the lane up, helps you for later. And this is unfortunately for Club R a tribute that they should probably fight over. Even with the boss at the top not really taking lots of damage yet, they need to deal with it because that would be a curse. And Brightwing is there as well, so they're trying to use 2 globals now. But they have to come in very, very early. If they don't, then it's a curse against them. And this makes the entire situation just so much worse. So Urel comes in from the side, says hello real quickly. Falstad and Brightwing are still doing their work at the top. Urel is rejoining the rest of the team. And they have a lot of time at the top to make the plays there. But Hanzo Arrow came out. Gets the stun in. There's Avatar. Brightwing is low and gone. Ult from Urel, but she's also in trouble. And now the red team is starting to take control of the game. There's just too many forced issues here against the blue team where they're in trouble. Urel is probably going to make it out even, but it's a 5 versus 4 regardless. Brightwing has died after she came in, so they don't have any heals anymore. At this point, you're probably better off to just accept that curse. They have no heals. You won't be able to hold this. Well, maybe they can hold it long enough. But it's another risk, and why take it? You're gonna have to face off against us eventually, and now Muradin is dead, then now what's gonna happen? Now the tribute is still gonna be channeled, you're still gonna be cursed, but now you're a hero down. So, yeah. If they're losing more, that would be an utter disaster. They need to try and escape with the heroes that they have still in play. So, right now, this is gonna be the opportunity for Fields of Zearman to bring this back a bit. This is the big chance right there. Now, can they? The next boss is being attacked, so Fields of Zearman is trying to get a lot more pressure onto the lane now, and they're taking it quickly, thanks to Hanzo, of course. They're a little bit low in mana on a couple of their heroes, but they also have a couple of regeneration globes that they can still use here. As long as no keep falls, Club R is going to be fine, but for Fields of Zearman, this is a big opportunity. This is a huge chance right now to take forts out. Falstad is starting to chase Junkrat, who is maybe going to die here. Yeah, Junkrat is dead. Gets solo killed. Nicely done. So Junkrat gone. 19.5 for Club R. They're getting a bit too scrappy with some of the decisions that they've been making. But that is going to be the bot lane defended, very likely. Curse is already about to be over. I guess they're going to get the fort in the middle as well. But that's acceptable. Losing 2 forts is totally fine. Stormbolt, alright. Muradin says hello. Chrome is still defending at the bottom of the map. Funnily enough, that fort is still standing. That's like 1 hit point. Sea Giants at the top could also pressure this. And here's the level 20 towns. They have a 1 level lead to play around with. So gap of 1 level that they can play with to get an advantage out of it. Maybe at the bot lane. They want that camp. They want the mercenary camp here. They jump in with everything that they have. And for the red team, this is now awkward. They get gusted into a corner with a wind tunnel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a double kill. Make it a triple, baby. Yup, that's Johanna gone too, and all of a sudden the shit hit the fan. That is where it gets tricky. Falstad flies in, gets the perfect angle on this, and now they're going for potentially Keep and Core. Keep is going to fall 100%, but they have a massive opportunity right now. That's exactly the kills that they needed. Take 3 heroes down just as you're pushing for the bot lane. Instantly they're starting to be aggressive here, and holy hell did that game flip quickly. The core is down to 60%, and that is a victory. Club R is able to claim the W in game number 1 of this best of 3 series, the losers bracket final. That escalated quickly. Nicely done here on Cursed Hollow as the blue team takes the victory. We're going to head in game number 2 in a second. Guys, if you enjoy the content, if you like the coverage here, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps to spread the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past and might rejoin the game. So spread the love a little bit, help to promote the games here, like and subscribe, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. That escalated quickly. Defending the curse, then invading the opponent's camp, and Falstad with the perfect play. If not for Falstad, they wouldn't have been able to end there. They might not have even been able to take down the keep. But he gets 3 heroes in a wind tunnel, and that is just too much to handle. So, Cho'Gall gets banned. We're going to Towers of Doom now. We have Sylvanas banned as well. Personally, I have my... I mean, first of all, unless I'm mistaken, the Haka is still up for grabs. So the Haka should still be available. Well, okay, forget it. The Haka is getting banned. We have, of course, 10 heroes who are played and can't be played again, but I could see Stitches here. I could absolutely see Stitches being picked once more. So there's an opportunity to make that a thing. And unless my memory, if memory serves me, then they played Stitches Alexstrasza in one of the previous games and got an absolutely absurd amount of globes for Stitches and had him with an extra 2,000 hit points. Closing in on 10k and also with an insane amount of movement speed. But now we're getting Balor with a Vala first pick. Okay. I'm interested already. Especially what build we're gonna get. If this was a big tournament, top prize money, the top teams in, I'd say auto attack, of course. Duh, what else? But here I could see an arrow build. As we're dropping a little bit lower, arrow build just becomes more reliable. You're not playing around the Gambit quest. You are in a really solid position if you're stacking it properly. Oriel as a start here for Sorcery. Obviously, the ban on Joker is already there. Okay, we get Lucio and Garrosh. Okay, totally different play from what I thought we could get. We can start to speed Garrosh up a bit and make him run into the opponent, and they're banning out Zarya. Not really sure if that was what they were looking for, but I can understand the impulse. Zarya Garrosh can be insanely annoying and makes for a very, very strong 4-man as well. Could have technically gone for Zarya Vikings. Just imagine that. You have a massive 4-man and then you have the Vikings just trying to control the side lanes. I wonder if they are still playing and doing something like it. It was actually the map choice of Fields of Zeaman, by the way. They chose the map, so yeah, first pick for the blue team, of course. Gul'dan and Leoric. So ETC and Leoric up at the front. Gul'dan for the Horrify. Yeah. And how is the blue team going to play this one out now? Vala's the only real damage for them just yet. We don't have globals. Dehaka banned. Falstad already played, so he can't be played again. Brightwing the same. You still have a couple of heroes that could go in a pseudo position. And it's Samuro. Oh, Tychus as well. Samuro and Tychus. Okay, so Samuro against Leoric. And then Tychus for Odin. That leaves us with the final pick for the map. This could be the final map in the group, by the way. This is match point now for the blue team. And they go for Sergeant Hammer. Alright, ladies, it's hammer time. Let's go. Map number 2, Towers of Doom. Club R on the left in blue. And as expected, Balor with Vala going for an arrow build. We got Cassia on Lucio. Endless on Tychus. Whitey is playing Samuro. And Machko on Garrosh. Over on the right side of the map, we get Fields of Zeaman with Yamar on Sergeant Hammer. Starting us off with the advanced artillery. Sjosten on Gul'dan. Sorcery on Oriel. And Casado is playing Leoric with, last but not least, the main tank ETC being played by Elixir. So, yeah, let's let the show begin. Vala has to start stacking. But again, this doesn't really surprise me too much. In different circumstances, I would have expected an auto-attack build. This is still the dominant build when you're looking at the top level of play. But it's obviously, with the Gambit quest, a lot harder to get proper value out of it. So if you can reliably get your arrows stacked, then this is a nice damage tool for Vala to have. And it's a lot less risky, but usually allows you to get good damage in around the fights that we're seeing with all of those altars that are spawning. Vala just has to make sure that she is consistently getting those arrows connected, especially after her level 4 talent kicks in. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that. ETC with the slide, another arrow is already in, and it's all about that initial damage. You can really get a lot of burst damage on individual targets with Vala as the game continues. It's a really nice scaling tool. Great scaling tool for them. And obviously, when we're talking about games on Towers of Doom, a lot of them last quite a long time. One question that we still have is what the level 7 talent is going to give us. Normally, when you go for an arrow build, you want to have one star hunter, of course. That empowers you to take the boss a little bit faster, take the cams, just also defend against them. But you can make an argument for something like Hot Pursuit and a bit of a hybrid build here. Just have that extra movement speed and dance around the opponent a bit. So they could technically try and go for that, but we'll see. Vala, again, getting good stacks in so far. Both teams have taken their pumpkins here. We got the side lane established. Samuro is another one that could be a huge deal later. And Vala is at 5 stacks right now. 2 minutes in, 5 stacks. Doesn't have level 4 yet, but once that we get that, we're going to see a lot more moves and stack attempts from her. But thus far, everything is fine. Pops another one in. Easy peasy. Just needs to be sure that not all of a sudden, you know, there comes a quick slide from ETC and then she's in tons of trouble. But talking about ETC, gets attacked here. Yeah, Vala has maybe another shot here. 1, 2, connects them again. She is stacking quickly. Sergeant Hammer is super low, so is Garrosh. But as I said before, Vala could for the late game really make the difference. It's interesting to see in the rhythm for Tychus, given the build that he chose. He went for a grenade build, not an auto-attack build, but still goes for in the rhythm here. Not something that you see all that much. Yeah, and Balor now on 10 stacks. I'm telling you, if he's able to keep that up without getting punished for being aggressive, then late game fights around altars are going to be problematic for the red team, for sure. But I still have also my eyes a little bit on Tychus because that build is, let's say, interesting. Yeah. Top left, top right get exchanged, as you would expect. And over here, this is now a perfect opportunity for Tychus and for Vala to stack a little bit. Yeah, especially, of course, if something like this happens. So shots are being fired, ETC mega low. Yeah, good arrow connects also from Vala. And they can move in for that once again. Vala is looking for opportunities, gets one. And this is starting to become a problem. The longer this lasts, the better, essentially, for the blue team. But they get the channel. And that's now another 4 shots fired against the red team score. 16 stacks for Tychus. We have 14 for Vala for now. Gul'dan, obviously, also benefiting from a situation like this, as he's able to do some work. And ETC is the first blood. Roughly 4 minutes into the game, the first time that a hero falls, Fields Obsidian loses their tank. And now with level 7, we get the Frost Shot. Alright. So they can play around the slows as well. That's not too bad either. So, yeah. It's gonna help them. As Vala builds that up. Pumpkins only coming out. And yeah, indeed, just continues the grenade build while at the same time building up in the rhythm stacks on level 4. That's what Tychus is currently doing. Vala, by the way, with 11,000 damage. Same numbers that we're getting from Sergeant Hammer here. Tychus is just on, I mean, just barely behind. Essentially is running the same numbers on this one. But they can come in for the next camp, of course. And Vala is now at 20 stacks. Guys, this is pretty good. 4 or 5 minutes in, 20 stacks on level 1. That is pretty decent. And she is able to get more. Very aggressive plays from Vala, but she doesn't get punished for them. She's always out there and is trying to get the next hit in, but it's working for her. And this is all just playing for the late game. I mean, all this poke damage that we're seeing from her right now doesn't really do anything. This is just important for later on. This is important for when we are going to see the battles around the altars. And she is stacking this up very quickly. If she can keep that pace, even just barely, then we're gonna get her with some absolutely serious numbers as the game continues. That's a nice kill, though, for Fields of Obsidian. It's a really important one, too. Them taking Garrosh down here is giving them a huge lead around the objective. Another double stack here, and you can already see the damage. But the altar channel has come in, and boom, the shots are fired. So now both of the teams are on exactly the same numbers. Vala is heading back for mana. Bot lane defense is also still ongoing. But as is, we have Vala on top damage in the game. 18,000. Sergeant Hammer with 16k. Initially, of course, the problem was the mobility, but now we have Hover Siege mode for Hammer. And they are both hitting... yeah, they're both hitting level 10. So, with level 10, we get Rain of Vengeance. We also get Samuro, straight with the Blade Storm. The attacks are coming, but once more, the Horrify. Beautifully played. But Machko makes it. Gets healed by Lucio. Cassia with the save. So, no kill for Fields Obsidian. They're not going to be happy about that. They were looking at Garrosh and they were like, alright, we got this. This one is looking great. And they nearly had it, but not quite. Now, Odin gets used for defense. Damn. That is quite the cooldown to burn just to defend your structure. So, normal... and obviously, the red team just walks away from it. Just saying, like, yeah, whatever. We don't really care. Tychus has 29 stacks now for In the Rhythm. Extends the minigun duration a little bit, but we're not really in some crazy spot yet. Yeah. More shots are now coming in, and that is now 32 stacks for Vala. She doesn't miss. She doesn't miss. Those arrows, they're hitting hard. And now we have the double altar phase coming up. Double altars are kicking in next. So... Garrosh sitting at the side and just waiting for a good angle might be a problem. Tries to get the connect, flips them around a little bit. The team is attempting to follow up on this. They can't get a kill. Yeah, it was a nice opportunity. The grenade connects. They bought the time for Samuro to channel the first altar, though. So that's already 4 shots fired, and now they're trying to work on the next one. Gul'dan has also his Horrify back up. Eats the shots, though. Yeah. Garrosh is still controlling the space here. Nice! Goes for ETC. Leo with the channel on the other hand. Leo channels, and they were not ready for the interrupt. And now we have trouble on Tychus. But he gets saved by Lucio. And Vala gets the kill. Garrosh falls, but Vala still on a killing spree. Comes in with the mount, tries to get in range. Could drop another set of arrows, and does one. Comes in with a second. And pushes the red team back a bit. But the exchange in altars has now led once more to even numbers on the core points. 39 stacks for Vala now. 2 kill. It's dead even, right? I mean, at this point, it's dead even. 28 points on the core for each team. Level 12, 2 kills each. They're doing pretty okay here. Samoro is by now at nearly 60,000 siege damage. Leoric has 78 with him rotating between the lanes. Vala has the same damage numbers that we're seeing from Sergeant Hammer here. And Tychus is trying to catch up to the two of them. Level 13 talent, of course, going to kick in next. And we have a double altar coming up at the top that is usually just exchanged. Still my biggest criticism of Towers of Doom. I wish these top left, top right spawns wouldn't exist. And what we would get instead is just simply spawns in the middle. Like double spawns. Nice! The Mosh, but he's low! They try to get the kill here. Odin again used as they're pushing. ETC gets destroyed. And they're moving in for that wall. But it was initially a good move. The problem is Sergeant Hammer already died. Then ETC goes down. Now you have 2 heroes that you just lost. And there's a lot of momentum for the team that pushes with Odin against you. Burn down the minion wave that comes in. And maybe even converts the bell tower over. It would be the perfect timing considering that the altars are activated. So, yeah. That's it. Samuro channels. And it is 5. No! Yeah, no, they have... Okay, they have 5. For a second, I was like, he was too early. But yeah, 5 against 3 shots. So the blue team is taking the lead again. So yeah, looking good here. Now, all the way up at the top. Whitey is starting to pressure the lane further. We have, by now, the bot lane. Yeah, they're sieging up with Sergeant Hammer here. They want their bell tower back. I'm not blaming them. In the middle, though, the wall is about to go down, and Gul'dan is the only one that is trying to defend here. Yeah, we have one defender, but they're gonna get some damage in on this. Yeah, not a whole lot, but again, every bit matters. So, at the bot lane, Sergeant Hammer is retaking the bell tower, but this was definitely worth it for them. There's a half-level lead now, and the next altar phase is, of course, going to spawn 3. So level 16 will be a thing for Club R. 50 stacks for In the Rhythm on Tychus. But 16 as a talent is going to be a nice one for Club R here. I'm honestly not even sure if Vala is going to go for Manticore here, considering that she's been playing around arrows like crazy and hasn't... I mean, she has hit more arrows than auto attacks, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, we could see the extra damage on this. And they are firing in the mid lane. That's a nice rotation, but it is actually Manticore. So they're going for Manticore on this one, and they're going to get another bell tower. Yeah, they're going to get this one. Bell tower gets converted. Perfect moment in time. And now it's the play again for those altars. If they get 2, they will get them down to 13 points. That would be massive for them, if they can get to that. And I don't see why not. This one at the bottom is an easy one, a free one for them. I don't think that Gul'dan is going to get anywhere near this with Garrosh pushing this out. But, well, turns out I'm wrong. Yeah, they didn't do that in time, so 5 shots are already fired, but now the fight is going to center around the bottom of the map again. And Vala is a bit low here, but they get the channel, so that's 10 shots fired against the red team, down 13 points against the 22. Sergeant Hammer is now trying to just react to Vala by simply getting those auto attacks connected over and over again. But we have arrows, we have grenades, so there's a lot of range that hits Hammer like a truck. Giant Killer is in, on the other hand. And we now also have Auriel with the Reservoir of Hope, which can be slowly stacked up. They come in again with Odin. Yeah, but the Entomb is ready. Vala with a few more arrows. She's now at 48. Once she has 20 in Acrobat, she is just absolutely crushing this. When Vala has Acrobat, then ETC just... Either a Horrify needs to be used to totally obliterate her, or ETC needs to find that power slide and maybe the Mosh Pit so they can take her out quickly. Sergeant Hammer is at 4. Sergeant Hammer is second place in damage. Vala is ahead of Sergeant Hammer right now. And again, this still scales. So the initial hit is what really matters. Oh, Samuro getting killed there. That is not good. That's another kill for Fields of Zearman. And they're going to be very happy about this. The 5 versus 4 is going to empower them to take the next camp here. But I was actually expecting for them to also rotate towards the middle and take their own bell tower back. And I think they're going to do that now after they steal the pumpkins. So they're making that their second priority. But it also means that we have an auto spawning at the bottom of the map. I don't think they have the time to get the bell tower. Have to make a choice of what they want with this. So, yeah. Once again, pumpkins make it through. The arrows are connecting. Yeah, good. Leo is already looking for the next entomb there. He's already starting to move in on this. But the bell tower is now taken, and he gets the entomb and a beautiful Horrify. Beautiful Horrify, and now they get Vala as well. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. So, yep, nicely done here. So, as is, we're now getting 3 kills against the blue team. Leo gets the free channel at the bottom of the map. So, yeah, looking good. And the shots are fired. So, not bad. Up at the top lane, we got the push coming in from Samuro. So he's starting to make the plays here at the top lane at least, and is trying to pressure this back, but he hasn't even taken the wall down, honestly. The bell tower claimed at the bottom, so now the entire situation has been reversed a little bit. The advantage clearly goes to the red team. We have them with 5-3. Yeah, a few more hits in the middle. But they need to take their bell tower back. 17 points on the core to 13. And the 1-level lead that we now have for the blue team is big. Aegis gets used, and they save Sergeant Hammer. Nice. Hammer is being saved, but they're still on the chase. They're still hoping for an opportunity here. Mosh Pit isn't ready, or that could have been a good chance for ETC to hit a big one. But they have to retake this down here at the bottom of the map if they want to have a chance. The next altar is a single altar. It's always difficult to move into Sergeant Hammer, so that's going to be a bit tricky. And the problem is that level 20 time is coming up for the red team. That's going to be a big issue. Fields of Zearman is looking solid here now. They struggled in the mid game a lot. Now they're looking better and better and better. With the level 20 talents, we have the ultra capacitors. Haunt is obviously another huge upgrade. And on top of that, we also have Buried Alive. So you really have the tools to win teamfights fairly easily. And that's always been a bit of a problem for Club R. That as long as they dodge those ults, they're going to be fine. But once that they connect, you are finding yourself in a world of pain. They're going for the boss now instead. And they can burn this one down very quickly. They know that they're going to lose the altar at the bottom of the map. So they're at least going for the consolation prize. And they get it. Yeah, 4 shots fired against 5. They still have the lead. It's smaller now though. And the question still is, with level 20, can they flip this again? Because that's essentially what we're talking about. And the pumpkins are now connecting. So now it is 9 points on the core for both of them. It's actually insane how close this is. It's really crazy. 9 points on both sides. And, well, here comes the level 20 for Club R. Obviously, we get Acrobat. That's big. Vala immediately just tumbling around like crazy and attempting to get them there. We also have Odin with a big red button. They're trying to retake that bell tower, and they really have to. The only one that is still sitting on the side lanes is obviously Samuro, and even he's now joining the fun here. Even Samuro's coming in. Dodging the entomb, but Lucio gets caught. Then the Horrify on Samuro. It's a double kill. I don't know if they can actually get a kill on ETC here. They're trying. Vala gets a nice connect, but the RNG is not enough. The heal was a little bit too powerful here. And so Vala doesn't get the kill. Endless survives, which is crazy in and of itself. Vala is now on 60 stacks, but that doesn't do them any good. They haven't retaken the bell tower, and they lost 2 of their heroes. So this is really Fields of Zearman pushing further and further towards game number 3. And they have a big shot to get super close to this now. Massive amount of arrows now being YOLO'd out, and godlike damage from Vala coming through in a lot of these situations. But it's just not enough. It's simply not enough. They are losing the team fights right now, and it brings the red team closer and closer to a third game. We might go the distance on this one. Auriel is now channeling. Sasori is on it. That's 5 shots fired, so the blue team will be down. 6 shots fired even. Uh-oh. They're down to 3 now. The only thing that the blue team can do is win a big team fight. If they don't win a team fight, this is just lights out. And all that the red team is attempting to do is hold on to those bell towers. The one in the middle is going to get converted over, I suppose. But the bot lane is, of course, the one where we have most of the pumpkin camps. So this is really threatening them. Yeah. This one has been claimed. Down at the bottom of the map. Well, let's see how this one plays out now. If they can take this one too. But they won the team fight. For good reason, of course. They need to find an angle. And the red team knows what the threat is. They're fully aware that the team fight is the only thing, essentially, that can win this quickly for their opponents. So they're willing to give up that bottom bell tower. They're actually willing to give it up. They're just saying, alright, we had our fun. Let's not be too aggressive here. As long as we hold 4 bell towers, we can win this game with 1 single altar. This is all coming down to this. So right now, 8 kills to 4. Here's the opportunity. This is the chance for the blue team to maybe take it. There is a double altar spawning next, and they have to win both of them. And they're both... winning this one at the top right is going to be an absolute nightmare. I am not sure they can do that. You have to go into a choke point, and you're going up against Horrify, Mosh Pit, and an Entomb. And Sergeant Hammer. I have my doubts. They're slowly sieging forward. We get big heals from Auriel, who now has 13 stacks on her Reservoir of Hope. Just saying. And, well, here comes Commandeer Odin. They're trying to push them back quickly. Big ult, but is this a kill? Can they get it? Mosh Pit! And yes! Lucio and Garrosh are both dead. The channel has started. This looks very much like Game 3. Yeah, that's the end of Tychus. They're losing everybody. It's a 5-man team wipe. 92,000 damage for Tychus, and for Sergeant Hammer, there's 2 StarCraft characters with the most damage. Didn't do Tychus any good. This is game. We're going to game number 3 in the losers bracket final, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Coming up next, we have game number 3 for you guys. Before we go, a big shout out to everybody that is supporting the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor. Really appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very, very much. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene live with all of the events and tournaments that we're hosting, then please consider to check out patreon.com/Khaldor and support the channel there. It's the best way to support all of the things that we're currently doing for the scene and plan to do in the future. With that being said, enjoy the next game of the series. We're going the distance. Game number 3. We got Club R against Fields Obsidian. The blue team, after losing on the second map, deciding that they want to have first pick, first ban. So the red team chose the map. But great effort. Great effort by Fields Obsidian. Again, a quick reminder. This is the last game in this group. Group B is over after this. So if you don't win here, then you are going to be in trouble. So, with that, we are now looking at a ban on Zeratul. Cho'Gall has been banned. Again, this is mainly because Club R has played Cho'Gall in the previous series, and I would assume before that as well. We get Sylvanas also banned. And here comes Dehaka. With Dehaka finally not being banned, they are locking in an early Dehaka pick. Can I just say, by the way, that the toy Dehaka skin is just so absolutely disgusting when you see him like on this pick screen. Now, you obviously have the overlay here, so you don't see it. But it's one of the worst things that I've ever seen. It is disgusting. Every single time I see that thing, I'm looking where my puke bucket is. Because I'm tempted to just vomit, like, full force. Even in the, in the game itself, it also doesn't look that great. Can we just all agree that the Bumblebee, the Haka skin, is by far the best? Is that even a question? Do we even have to discuss this? Every Dehaka player should run this one. Hoggan and Uberak. Oh, and we get a sniper comp. Varian and Malfurion. Alright, we're gonna get our taunts here. What's the burst damage for the blue team? With Anubarak, you can of course play around with Cocoon. That's definitely a thing. We have Hogga with a Horda Pult, who can also help out a lot and jump in together with Anub. But in the previous tournaments, I gotta say, Enuburak did not really have the best track record. Now, the Underdog Cup is a little bit different, obviously. We're playing on a lower level, a few rules are different, preferences are different, people are struggling with different things. But if we're taking the Murky Cup, for example, as just a little bit of a note, Enuburak had a very, very mediocre win rate. Didn't have a good track record. He gets a bit more priority on all direct pass, I would assume, because you can sneak in an objective. You just move on to the prisoner camp, you spawn a couple of beetles, and then yeah, the grunts get distracted and you just simply start the channel. But by now, most teams have figured that out, and there will always be someone that kind of pays attention to where Enuburak is, and will not just simply let him do that for free. We get Rhaegar, and we get Jaina for the pick, so we got our burst damage now for them too. But I want to see what there needs to be some mage damage for them. So what are we getting? Some more Fear pick? Do they have no Fear player? Or what else are we gonna get to just like put the pressure on once that we have Taunt activated? Could go triple frontline, of course, with a single range damage as well. Greymane and Tacita. Okay, Greymane and Tacita get locked in. I can work with that. That leaves us with the final pick for Group B. It's the final map. And whoever takes this one moves on. So, this should be good. That's a nice lineup. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we get Cassia. Cassia for the damage. Ladies and gentlemen, stage is set. We're headed to all direct pass. Time for the final map. Club R on the left in blue. We got Machko on Varian. Balor on Greymane with Viciousness on level 1. He needs to be vicious now on this map. Whitey on Dehaka. Cassia with Malfurion. And we get Endless with a Static Charge on Tacita. Over on the right side, Fields of Zearman after the victory on Towers of Doom, obviously coming in with a lot of confidence. We got them with Yamaha on Cassia. We got Sjorsten on Jaina with the Fingers of Frost. Casado on Hogger. Elixir is playing Enuburak in the third and final map of the series. And we got Sasori on Rhaegar. Let the games begin. Let's go, baby. So, who's going to be able to take this one? Who moves on? Who drops out? Varian, they clearly are looking for that Taunt sniper combo with the Malfurion follow-ups. And yeah, that's the first wall already out. They got a lot with this. I mean, Tacita can really provide a lot for the team here. Also that burst damage that they will need as they get the taunts connected. And then on top of that, you also have Greymane, who can come in with a bullet real quickly. So there is burst. There is a lot of burst that they can use. And that they should use too. But up at the top, yeah, our side lane is being run by Dehaka and by Hogger. Over here in the middle. Still a little bit more attack coming in. As they're starting to do their thing, we have down at the bottom of the map pretty much alone Tacita currently, going up against Enuburak. Going in with a couple more beetles. And over on the left with the 1 minute mark popping. Of course, it's time for a couple of camps to be taken. Null time. Farmer baby. This is kind of funny. Varian, honestly, until he hits his level 4, he's just an oversized minion. It's literally what it is. Looks like a footman, does the same damage like a footman. Like, just an oversized minion. He needs his level 4 before he has any impact in the game. He's just sitting there and he's just like, I'm useful. And everybody else is like, yeah, no, dude, like, you're not really. Like, we're sorry. But not a thing. So, we haven't seen any kills yet. Not too much YOLO just yet, but with level 4 now kicking in, this is where the party can start. Taunt is ready, and that of course allows them to lock in taunts with Malfurion follow-ups, get the damage connected, and they're immediately being a little bit more aggressive. You could already tell that Fields of Zearman, oh, that was close. Fields of Zearman was starting to fall back the second level 4 approached. Now they know they still have to fight, they can't just simply play defense all game long. But they also don't have to give Varian immediate opportunities here. So they played this well. And that, on the other hand, was neat. He gets away, but I like it. Knew exactly where he was, interrupts him, and gets the hits in. Okay, so we're currently having in the middle of the map. Endless being targeted next. And that is first blood in the game. Fields Abzirman is able to get the first kill of the series. Good for them. The momentum of game number 2 is apparently still holding on. Yeah, Tassadar is obviously getting his stacks together, but this was a nice little beginning for them. We have the objective also up on the map, so you can technically try and go for the prisoner camps. Keep an eye on Anubarak, of course, as all of this continues. He's the one that we still need to watch out for a little bit. There's always a chance that he makes cheeky plays, I already said earlier. I do not think that the blue team is simply going to allow this. So very likely what we're gonna have is them trying to keep an eye on that and making sure that they are just not giving them an easy time. But yeah, for now things are pretty okay here. We have them up at the top lane with the Haka getting pressured back a little bit. In the middle, the attack is also just slowly coming forward. They have both level 7 talents now as well. And yeah, can we get enough here? So far the answer would be a surrounding no. Obviously he's aiming for that taunt. I was trying to find it. So far that hasn't quite happened. I gotta say that the red team is actually doing this pretty alright. They're not giving too many opportunities to the killer comp here, because the entire idea that we're getting for... well, there it is. Obviously, the second that I start talking about it, there we have it. The insta follow-up on the taunt with a good root on the ground, and that is a kill. Job well done. This is exactly what they were aiming for from the get-go. It took 4 levels for them to finally make that move, but now there it is. So, yeah, well played. That gives them also access to the objective, and they're trying to take the lead here. If they can take the entire thing, then even better, but we'll see if it's going that far. Because death timers are still a bit low, obviously, so that means that Hogga is by now back, and they're going to try and push him back here, which indeed they do. So, yeah, they're not going to be able to get the entire thing. But they got off to a good start, and now they want the kill. They nearly got Cassia. Yamar made it out of that fight, but barely. I like the aggression that we're now getting from the blue team. So now they finally picked up a bit of the momentum that they wanted earlier, and it is starting to work well for them. They get a drag on Rhaegar even. Where's that taunt follow-up when you need it? There it is, and that's a dead healer. Yep, no chance for Rhaegar. He goes down. That's the second kill for Club R, and more importantly, it is the first objective. Lead in experience, they get the Raiders, and now they have the opportunity here to push this a bit further and see if they can destroy a few of the structures. In an ideal world, you're trying to take at least the fort out, but even just destroying the walls would obviously be a good first step. Early level 10 is going to help them too. So that's another one. We get the bullet immediately, and we obviously have Warbringer as well, with Malfurion going for the heals as he locks in Tranquility. So, with that, the push through the middle. And we also have the black hole. Yeah, black holes can be pretty exciting. I mean, as I said in the past, I have of course a lot of job experience, not only as a commentator here, but I worked in the past as a doctor, as a policeman, a fireman, pizza delivery boy, real estate agent. I mean, you name it, and amongst other things, also as an astronaut, and I explored many a black hole in my day, and this can be a very exciting situation, so I wholeheartedly endorse the choices of Tassadar as the team breaks through the first fort. We have them try to go for the bot lane too, and there's an opportunity to get another kill on Rhaegar. The cocoon is out right away as they're coming in for Sorcery, the Self-Ancestral. Here comes the shockwave from Hogga. They're pushing the blue team back. The fort is about to go down, but Endless, he doesn't make it. He is dead as well. So right there, we got 2 kills to 2, but 2 forts have been destroyed, and I think losing 1 or 2 heroes is a price that is absolutely okay. They're able to save the rest, but the boss gets attacked immediately. I like that. Again, they're taking advantage of the situation they're in. They kill 2 heroes, they have a shot for the boss, so they claim it. And obviously, since they find themselves behind now in structures, they need to start to catch up somehow. And that would be the best way to initiate that for now. So 1 boss claimed. They took the camp over on the left side instead. We have Cassia with 16,000 damage. But the team is still going to try and defend here as best as they can, especially with Tacita also helping them out. Tacita had 62,000 siege damage, by the way. Careful, Varian. You don't want to be hit too hard right now. The fence is already up. Tacita puts up these walls like no other. Yep. And by now, we got level 13 talents on the horizon for Club R. Defense at the bottom of the map, already executed, not really a problem. Didn't even lose too many hit points on the fort. There's no play for the boss at the top lane yet. And they're just destroying vision by eliminating the walls here. So, yeah, that's going to leave Fields Obsidian in the dark later on. But it is still fairly close. After game number 2 also, you gotta be a little bit careful because that comeback that we saw there from the red team and the way that they started to control the momentum in the late game was pretty epic. Now we have a Cocoon use, but I do not think that they can make a move here. Instead, it's a Nubarak that starts to drop really low. Yeah, and that black hole comes in a bit late. The Nubarak already diving out. But you could tell that they were starting to panic a bit. So it's a cooldown trade essentially between Black Hole and Cocoon. As the next objective gets announced, and both teams now with level 13. We got 17,000 damage for Cassia. 13,000 for Greymane. The battle is slowly starting to pop up here once again. Still the camp up. But is the red team going to push for the objective? I'm going to try to go in on this. There's still a bot at the a boss at the top lane, by the way. So, yeah. One boss still up. There's also... Jaina has not completed the quest yet. So she doesn't have an ice block at this point. These are still fights where one tool is missing for the red team. But they are going for the objective now. Nubarak has to dive out, but they also need to reclaim this. The footmen are already on it. Yeah, okay. So footmen are going to take this in time. And the red team has taken the lead, but not more than that. They're all just dancing around it right now. The forts that have been destroyed, obviously, a huge advantage currently for the blue team. You can see it on the passive experience here. There's nearly a 2,000 point difference on passive experience already. And this is just going to accelerate the process. If they take another objective here and start taking keeps down, then whew, it's going to be crazy. So right now, there's a taunt, maybe a little bit too early. Ancestral used very, very quickly. Greymane, there's the Valkyrie first, but a great black hole as well. And everybody on the red team is low. They're trying to go for Varian though. He comes in again and they're slowing down Hogger. He gets killed and that could be a follow-up on Cassia. They nearly destroy her, but they fall back in time to focus on the objective. They got one kill against Hogger, and you don't want to funnel too quickly into that choke point if there's a chance for Jaina to get her abilities back and just kill you with a quick rotation. But this is the second objective right now. Objective number 2 for Club R, and the big opportunity to take a massive lead here. Not only did they get the objective again, but we are going to have level 16 for them in a moment. With the level 16 talents, here's your chance. Here's your opportunity. So they're taking the waves out. Dehaka's at the top lane. He can always tunnel in. And now they have the talent advantage. Lord of his pack is coming in. We got the thermal lance and we got the elongated tongue. So lots of utility too, as they are starting to break through the middle. Up at the top, that's where we're going to see the objective claim the fort for free. And now it's all about the keep in the middle. They're trying to get the damage in here. The defenders, they do what they can. But the keep is down to 50% of its HP as Greymane gets freed from the cocoon. But are they committing to this? I don't really think they will. They have it low though. They have to keep really low. Tacita could be the one to try and get some additional pressure on it now. And for Fields Obsidian, they are hoping to get level 16 as quickly as they can. But the keep, yes, it is going to fall. They're sieging up on it, they're claiming it. And that's a massive advantage now, of course, for the red team. It's a huge advantage. I mean, at this point, you have at least one armor shield removed from the opponent's core. So you're getting there. And the problem that we have for Fields Obsidian is, once again, they haven't taken out a single fort. You can see the passive experience now. 3,500 XP points of a difference. That's a lot. And there are not really a lot of places where the red team is making up for it. The mercenary experience a bit because they earlier got the boss, but now there's the battle at the top. This is honestly a potential comeback for Fields of Zearman. We still have a lot of ults available though, and oh, a Nubara goes down. I was just about to say that Black Hole could be a nice tool for them, but now they get the counter kill. Black Hole gets used, Tacita is dead, Jaina got the Ancestral and survived. The boss leashed, but it's a 4 versus 3 now. The big Tong, that was huge. That was a huge Tong and a kill from Greymane as they now go, oh my god, amazing. And another Tong. They get another kill. What the hell? That fight was lost. That fight was a disaster. And then Dehaka just turns the entire thing around. First we have Greymane with a kill at the top. Then they're going for Hogger. And then Dehaka comes in. Makes the big Tong play. And they get a follow-up. That was amazing. That was honestly sick. What a performance from Dehaka and Greymane at the back end of that fight. That turned everything on its head. They're trying to go for the channel. They might be able to get the head start here, but it's going to take them a little bit longer. And honestly, as long as Dehaka is completely alone here, they're not going to get it. But he's... oh! Yeah, here comes Varian. And gets the taunt. A little bit of damage. The problem is that the entire team is now back to. Valkyrie misses though, gets dodged. Blue team is again trying to push, but they don't have a talent advantage, and they lose Varian. No! They're throwing the lead away again. Yeah, Machko is down. Good damage still from Tacita, but unbelievable that this just happened. They just threw Varian to the wolves. They were a bit too greedy there. They saw Rhaegar, and I was like, if we can get the kill on Rhaegar, if we take the support out, then it's going to be amazing. But now instead we're having the pressure coming in from Fields of Zearman. 33,000 from Greymane, 42,000 from Cassia, the two top damage dealers on the respective teams. They're trying to reclaim it. Get interrupted again. 15 seconds for Varian. Tong comes out. They're trying for the interrupt once, twice, but they just cannot hold on to it. They're just buying time. Time for Varian. Here's the stun. And Anubarak has to dive out. 23 seconds until the objective gets claimed. Varian is on his move again. And they get the Tong. Where's the follow-up? There it is. And Anubarak gets murdered. But the objective could still be claimed. Varian comes in. He wants the hit too. They're trying to get a little bit closer here. And the interrupt is indeed happening. And this time they are claiming it. Level 20 about to connect. No Anubarak for another 40 seconds. And they can go for the objective and will. And I do not think that Fields of Zearman is going to be able to stop this one. And a 2-level lead makes this real bad. 2 levels until you have your own level 20. Wow. Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. And now this is happening too. Greymane realizes that they can also go for the boss. So they're going to take this one as well. Oh boy, this might be the end of the game, honestly. Like, Fields of Zearman, they need a bit of a small miracle here. They are realizing that the boss is about to be taken, so what they're doing instead is just trying to ensure that the objective is not being claimed, which is not a bad move to begin with. And Anubarak is back, but yep, the boss is indeed now claimed, and it will push for the bottom keep, where we still have the wall standing, but now they're back on the objective. So you have to really think how you want to play this one out. Do you defend the boss? Do you defend the objective? What are you really going for here? They are freeing Greymane again. Dehaka is fine in the back. And right now, there's the wall. And we get the black hole. They get him low. And Valkyrie did once more not connect with the target. Good damage from Jaina. Oh my god! Jaina is insane. Teeing up Cassia as well. It's a 5-man team wipe. The entire team murdered. The fort in the middle attacked. Boss at the bottom. They can go for the objective, and they do. But what an absolutely brutal performance in that choke point. And the big opportunity for Fields of Zearman. They have level 20 and they're turning this around. They go for the objective. They're going at the same time also for the camp on the left. They will take keeps. The question is just how much damage can they do. It will be a lot, But the question is still, how much? Where does it stop? Boss is not quite able to take down the keep at the bottom of the map, so that's a huge win. But here comes the attack. They're taking the keep down in the mid lane. Club R will lose one armor shield on the core, but how does Philipsierman play this? They're trying to end it. I'm not sure that they can. This might not be possible for them. Hogger isn't here. Varian, Malfurion, Dehaka, they're all back. Maybe they have the damage, but it's still 2 armor shields. So the attack is happening right now. Malfurion gets caught by Valkyrie, and if Malfurion dies, they lose all the sustain. The boss is about to fall. Guys, this is game. They did it. They turned it around. What a comeback by the red team as they win the loser bracket final.